started recording. It's been telepathic since we
Then
began.
we
And what I will do is mute the microphones. You can turn on your mic if you need to. There's only 4 of us, so everybody's here. Susan said she was going to come and then bowed out this morning at the last minute. She had something to do, I guess. It's no problem. You choose to do what you do, and you do what you have to do, and it's okay with me. Anyway, first thing we should do is be comfortable enough to send out the hue. You don't do it out loud. You don't have to even use your vocal cords. You just match the tones with me in the privacy of your own imagination. So the first thing you need to do is get relaxed enough and close your eyes so that you're no longer focused on Earth or anything in Earth's atmosphere, because that's all negative mostly. It's not bad negative, it's just negative to where the hue in the atmosphere and the water vapor of this planet is depleted for the most part. Not completely, or we'd all be dead, but so much so that people can't lift their head up above the ocean waves and take a look around and see what's above the water, so to speak. The sound from Source itself is universal. It's never changed. It's always one original sound. It is the way that Source itself communicates with individuals made of the same energy, which makes perfect sense. Our true nature as beings is telepathic because the Atma does not have vocal cords. Think about this for a moment. What people are, or soul, don't have vocal cords. And that kind of communication is more conscious and audible and clear and holographically accurate than speech from vocal cords. However, speech from vocal cords, the words that are said, have mental image pictures associated with them. For people on Earth, it's unconscious when they talk to each other. Someone says something and they went to this lake and people just instantly imagine what it might have been like when they went to that lake. But it's kind of unconscious. So the actual communication between people is visual. But that's not how people on Earth see it. No, for most people. They're not taught to do it any other way, so they just don't do it. They grow up not being able to do it because they've never been taught to use any of these faculties growing up on this planet. The sound that the Atma hears is heard more audibly than any speech or sound on Earth. The Atma hears it, not the brain, not your ears, and your eyes don't see the light. The Atma sees the light and hears the sound of the source energy. It's out in space, all that area of space that's so vast. So what is divine spirit? People on Earth who claim and say that don't know what it is. It's just a belief. It's this divine spirit thing, whatever that is. It's a living, omnipresent power that's not nuclear or atomic. It never was and it never will be. What we are is not nuclear, atomic, and not made of atoms like the body and the brain. We aren't those things. We never have been. But we've run millions of them, perhaps billions of them, on multiple dimensional levels of heaven, if you lack a better understanding. I'm calling it that than that, but consider them higher dimensions. And not all of those are great, pretty heavens in the lower dimensions below the void. They aren't. They're relatively more paradisical than here, but they also have negativity throwing through them. So those are not permanent heavens. The gods people worship, the names they use are stationed in the lower dimensions, not above the void. So people on Earth don't even know what the real source is like. And how can they know that if they don't go to it? So you okay there, Renata? Or are you uncomfortable? It's okay. Your mic's off. I turned it off. I can't hear you right now. It's all right. Don't worry about it. We get a better recording quality when your mics are off. I'm going to send out the hue. We're going to do it 5 times. And all this does is open a doorway, like putting a switch on a computer and turning on a certain frequency. It opens a doorway through the pineal gland in the center of the brain. It makes a connection from you, the Atma running the body, to the personality you have on earth. It begins to make it conscious. That's what it does. When you close your eyes and you put the body to sleep at night, you're opening another doorway without realizing it. Why don't you realize it? Because no one on this frickin' planet ever bothered to teach anyone here what to do when they close their eyes or how to bring back awareness. It's not taught here on this planet. Remember, just on this planet, it's not taught. So out in the universe, where the greater life is, in the greater God, those beings are very much more advanced. They're not like people on earth. These are the beings we go on these journeys with. I'll send out the hue now. Just send it out in your own way with me. Hue. Shantiel and Tonatiel and Dantiel and Lamtiel are galactic alliance couples. Many hundreds of years old, running bodies that are basically immortalized. It just means their genetic science is such that they don't age. Simply because the telomeres on their four-stranded DNA at each end of their DNA do not shrink when their cells divide, as they do in humans on Earth at this time. They shouldn't, but until people are not out of control as they are now, overpopulating to the end of this world people, which they do now, then it's important that people do not have bodies that don't age, because on Earth it would overpopulate the planet and everybody would die. Wouldn't be enough food and everybody just step all over each other. So a lot has to be fixed with planet Earth, as you know, for it to be a normal world amongst the stars. It isn't yet. It never has been. But it is destined to be. That's the good news. These couples that look like Dantiam, Lamtiam, Tonatiel, Shantiel, Tonatiel, Dantiam, Lamtiam, they look similar, about 36 years of age, generally about 6 feet tall, sometimes taller. And they simply station themselves around you before we start these journeys. Whether you see them or not is irrelevant. They're there. They don't invade your space. They're not there to read your minds or play with you. They simply keep negative stuff in your subconscious, your fear of the present and future, turned off for these journeys. That is a gift. That is what they do. They leave their bodies aboard a ship, usually the Emerald Star Cruiser, stationed in the ice rings that make up the rings that circle the planet Saturn. And it's for now permanently stationed in our solar system to keep us from annihilating ourselves more than anything else. So they leave their bodies, easy for them. They grow up knowing how to do this, piece of cake, and then they just go on the journey with us. They love it because they get to go into the upper realities too. And when they come back, they share this with the Galactic Alliance on 450 million spacefaring world systems. Not 450 million worlds, individual worlds, 450 million spacefaring world systems. So there are many more populated worlds than that number. And they share it with everybody. It changes them, and then they can help change us. It's reciprocal. It's the way it works. You see yourself as easy as you see picturing going to the grocery store. The imagination is the ability to see into the multidimensional creation. It is not made up in your brain. Your brain cells do not have the capability to throw a motion picture from a bunch of brain cells that represent a camera to a motion picture screen on the other side of your brain. It does not work like that. Obviously, it doesn't. So what is seeing and knowing things is not the brain of one lifetime. Never has and never will be. So you visualize what you would look like if you're up near the ceiling where you live, looking down on your body, which is in the trance state called sleep. You put it there every night. You're masters at it. Piece of cake. Easy. The difference is you're beginning to discover how to stay conscious while your body's asleep. You're taught on earth to identify with the body as being who you are. So when it goes to sleep, you go dumber than a brick and go unconscious with it. That's the problem. People aren't taught correctly on this planet. From birth onward, not at all. Not yet. So you'll see you're projecting a body, in your case, 3 females. That body looks to be about 36. It's not made of atoms, it's not DNA. It's how you show yourself, a prototype self. It's a projection from the white core of the Atma you are, hovering near the ceiling. And it's standing out in front of the Atma you are. And this couple is hovering beside you, projecting a similar type of flawless, for a male, handsome, female, beautiful. These are not physical bodies. They are the prototypes that are used to impress running physical bodies. They're not made of atoms. They're not DNA. Showing each other what we look like this way goes back to the beginning before we started playing in the lower worlds of time and space. This is just common sense stuff to beings not on Earth. There's a white golden light flowing. It's a pastel, transparent, just visible light moving down through the ceiling, through you, down through your body, and it goes through you for your benefit. Starting to sort out these subconscious blocks that are in the field of energy that surrounds your body, the electromagnetic field. It looks like, there she is, she's back. Okay, I hope you're back, Renata. Just keep your camera off and you'll have a better signal. If you want to turn on your microphone, you can, and tell us you're still there. And then you can leave your camera off if that works for you. Okay.
I'm still there.
Okay, good. Just leave your camera off. It's okay.
Okay.
It'll be better. You get a better signal for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can turn your camera off if you want.
Okay, where do I do that?
Well, it says video, and you just click on the video symbol like this, and it shuts off the camera.
Video.
It's not a picture of a video camera. It says video.
Stop video, yes.
Okay, now, good. That'll work.
Thank you.
Good. I'll mute your camera, your microphone. You don't have to do it. I'm doing it from my end.
Okay.
Okay, now we're back on. So you're up near the ceiling. This is not fantasy. You're actually doing this when I'm when I'm speaking it with you, it's telepathic. You know how to do this because your fears that you normally have to master are turned off for the journey. So naturally you can do this. The energy moving through you moves through you for your benefit, but the U expansion ray does not work selfishly. It moves through you for your benefit and on the way through you to others on Earth in the atmosphere to fix things, and it moves off-world. It goes to the center of the galaxy and goes all the way back to source, and it never stops moving. It's where the symbol for infinity, like a 8 circling, it comes from. With a brighter flash of light, you find yourself in outer space, outside of Earth's negatively impacted atmosphere. You're out in space, a distance from Earth. You can see the polar ice caps. You don't need a spaceship, you're an Atma. You're standing in a circle of beings. There's the 4 of us in a big circle around Ambassador Trillian. There are other beings here. The man and woman from the Galactic Alliance, these masterful guides, are standing to each side of you. The Atmas you are, all three of you, are spherical shaped, hovering above these forms you choose to show each other. These forms we show each other do not look like your bodies on Earth. They don't age. Turelian is standing 18 feet tall. There's a big, beautiful Atma hovering above the form he shows us. He looks like a Greek god. Slightly pointed ears like an elf. Slightly bigger, oval, beautiful crystal blue eyes. Bigger than an Earth human's. Kind of a ivory moonstone colored skin. Blonde hair slightly wavy to his shoulders. Wearing a single gown like a thin dress. It comes down just above his bare ankles. He has two thumbs up, closed fists. He's got a little quirky smile on his face. There's a foot wide, brighter golden white light around these fists than is in space around us. The space around us is not black or dark blue like you see in a Space Hubble telescope image. That's what the limitation of your physical eyes in a two-stranded human body see. But you're not limited that way. You can see that that space is one single living golden white light everywhere, greatly more vast than the billions of galaxies that float in it. And that energy continues upward through all the dimensions right to source, and even several dimensions above source. So it's one living conscious spirit, or living consciousness, I would say, that is the energy behind and supporting the whole creation. It is not an individual being. You would not want to be one with it in the sense of being consciously one with it, because you would cease to be an individual in that case. So what you are is something that remains an individual throughout creation on many different levels. Master Ramu, you know what he's like. He's standing near to Earth. Earth's directly behind him. You can see the barren moon orbiting the planet. No atmosphere, does not turn on its axis. It orbits the planet but stays always showing us the same face. The sun in the distance, a single sun. Billions of beautiful red, orange, deep blue suns. Red suns, brighter suns, bigger suns by far than our sun. And most of those stars in the Milky Way, most of them are binary or trinary, predominantly trinary, meaning there are three suns, two smaller that orbit a bigger sun, and then planets orbit them. This is known to scientists and astrophysicists on Earth today. Most of them are not single suns, like the one our planets revolve around. This makes a difference in the way energy affects life on those worlds, because the worlds with life on them, for the most part, do not have polar ice caps. Their temperatures remain about constant worldwide. The oceans on those worlds are calm, because they're glow with the charge of the hue in them. Those are normal planets. Earth is not one yet. Master Opelum is opposite Ramu on the other side of Turelian, further out in space, with his pale blue skin. Looks like a human, really, except for the skin color. Jet black hair to his shoulders, emerald green eyes. Looks to be about 38, maybe 40. Trim. But he's showing you a body form that is identical to this, that's a real physical four-stranded body on Oceania, which is on the other side of our galaxy. And he can breathe underwater or on land. That's what Oceanians can do. The genetic similarities between Earth humans, more advanced four-stranded DNA humans, and other bipedal species in the galaxy are capable of mating with each other, because the DNA is so close. It goes back to the DNA of the Say rays. like Turellian. They have 12-stranded DNA when they had bodies. They no longer have physical bodies. Yet they manifest one when they need it, and you could walk up and touch it like the one Turellian's showing you, 18 feet tall in space. Giant human being compared to us. Light C is hovering above Eta and Din. Eta and Din are silica-based, not carbon-based, physical beings on Oceania. They're showing you their non-physical presence. They choose to show you of what Eta and Din look like. They are master teachers. They're hovering above Turellian with their tails glowing out behind them, standing upright on their back legs. Cute as the dickens. Long, cute snouts. When their mouth is closed, it looks like they're amused about something. Big bulbous blue eyes and pale green skin. And they can fly or levitate through the atmosphere of a planet. I think they can go about 256, maybe even 300 miles an hour. They have diaphragms that close over their outer eyelids for protecting them in wind and so forth, and an inner diaphragm in their noses that filters air. They evolved this way as biological beings. They did not evolve on Earth. They are not human, but they too have Say-raised DNA in their structure. So they are here to represent not an ugly alien race, very loving. It's like a beautiful kitty or something. You know, they're very adorable, courageous to a fault, telepathic, photographic memories, vocal cords. They mate in more extraordinary ways than humans do. I first met them 100,000 years ago as part of the Galactic Alliance coming to Earth on a certain mission, which is portrayed in the Emerald Doorway book. So being part of the Galactic Alliance does not exempt any of us from being trapped or caught, stuck in bodies on Earth. Every one of you knows that now. But it also does not preclude the fact that you had much more advanced lives in DNA bodies that don't age when cells divide and things like that. This is not new for you. It's quite ancient. Anti-gravitic propulsion spacecraft is quite ancient. Removing all diseases on other worlds is quite ancient. When you master the genomes on the DNA, you can use them as switches to simply eliminate disease. On other worlds, primordial bacteria and amoebas and single-celled creatures that evolved are on worlds, as long as they're not in competition with higher forms, they are left alone. If they are, as they are on Earth, they are eliminated, taken out of creation because they have served their purpose and are thus destructive at this point. Earth is not one of the planets where this has yet occurred. Out in space, everything around you is a white golden light and has a humming sound to it, a deep humming sound, almost like thunder. No lightning, but it's the sound the physical universe makes in 144 parallel dimensions of the physical universe. You get into the astral, it's more like the sound of water crashing on an ocean beach. It changes. In space out here, there are other beings above Eta and Din. One is Light C, little Chinese master, quite ancient, known as the Faultless Guardian. He's got a beautiful, bigger Atma than us, hovering above this little form he shows us. And above him is Satnam. Satnam is about 6 feet. Bronze-skinned, bald head, golden eyes, almost glowing, not yellow. Looks like he's someone from India. Strong, muscular build, no upper shirt on, bare-chested, simple white tunic dress from his waist down to his bare feet. And he's observing things. There's a bigger Atma, 4 times bigger than us, like a silent mentor. Much different, more color radiations in it than us, more depths and levels to it. Above him is an hourglass-shaped very long, moving upward, whirling clockwise, golden white shaft of an hourglass-shaped interdimensional doorway. There's a blue-green energy moving around it at a different rate, slower. Looks like water, but it isn't. It is a tunnel that's been created ahead of the journey to connect where we are in space outside of Earth, all the way to the void above the etheric plane, to the Atma realm where Satnam's realm is, to the U Expansion Ray Academy, and all the way to Source. Turelian's two thumbs closed fist with thumbs up is producing a field of energy around us, like a transparent, pastel, beautiful, glowing, golden white light, brighter than the hue in space. It's like the hull of a spaceship. It's for protection, but it's also to keep us focused on the journey. The distractions are so mind-bogglingly vast in the astral, causal, mental, and etheric, we don't go there on these journeys. Not yet. We go bypass them to get into the upper worlds. And why we do that is so we can rub shoulders with silent mentors, master teachers, and rub shoulders with energy that has no negative nature. We bring that with us, like getting a charge. And then when you come back to your body on Earth, energies move through your etheric body. You're running on the etheric plane just below the void. It's moved through the mental plane below that, through the causal plane below that, and through the astral plane, where all emotion comes from, where you have a life there, and then down to your physical form. It helps those bodies begin to work generously and properly with each other. Your so-called higher selves begin to work with each other. A flash from Turelian's thumbs finds us all as a group. And don't forget, this Galactic Alliance couple is with you. Shantil and Tonaltil are beside me. Dantam and Lam Tibiam is beside one of you. I won't say which one. Other couples, equally as experienced, are beside the other two people on the journey. This is okay. It's perfectly fine. We are moving like a oval-shaped blur of light, like a teardrop of light, all the way up in space until we stop to hover and look down. We're looking down in the entire Milky Way Galaxy from out in that vast void of hue energy. And we're looking at this representation like a little golden sphere that you can see lit up. 2/3 of the way out one of the spiral arms of the galaxy. That's Earth. We left there. And then 4 spiral arms over, you're going to see a world about halfway down, maybe 1/3 of the way down, one of the other spiral arms. The sound out here is more of the high note of a flute because it's coming directly here through that hourglass vortex, which is still above us in space. We were all the way up above the galaxy, but it's still above us. So we're not going up that just yet. It's moving with us where we go. Silent mentors have a job to maintain that hourglass-shaped doorway. That's what they do. We're going to contribute to that in a moment when we send out the hue on many higher tone levels to add our energy to, co-creatively, to this doorway before we go through it. For now, you'll see that Turelian is guiding us all down, and I'm now standing beside Turelian. I've got my thumbs up with closed fists as a golden white light around him. We're moving, all of us, together, straight down towards the galaxy in a blur of light, like a big arc of light, until we come down and focus on a particular star system. That star system, we can see, has 3 suns. There's a big blue, hot, white, young giant star called the blue giant in the center. There's a big yellow sun, 1,000 times bigger than Earth, but smaller than the blue one, orbiting that one. And further out, there's another sun. These three worlds we're going to explore were explored only 2 times previously. The last one on 4/27/22. And 4/27/25. Well, I don't know which one. It was a few months ago. Purpose for this is we're visiting training and experimental facilities run by silent mentors and master teachers to develop new ways and new technologies and transformational energy rays to fix humans, animals, sea life, birds, etc. on planets like Earth, among many others. This has never been done before. There are 3 special worlds where this is conducted in the Milky Way Galaxy and in the Andromeda Galaxy next to us simultaneously. We're looking at these suns. There's further out is what's called a red giant. It's a star that's expanded near the end of life, but it could still be a billion years away. So they call them red giants. The effect of the gravitational forces of these 3 suns on the worlds that are the majority out in our galaxy is that they don't have polar ice caps. It changes everything. We can see this star system 1/2 of the way down the 4 spiral arm of our galaxy, which is 4 spiral arms away from where Earth is located. The planets revealed during this journey circle a trinary star system, as stated. A big, light blue young sun at the center, and a big yellow sun much larger than the sun on Earth circles, but smaller than the blue one. And further out is what's called a red giant. There are also suns called red dwarfs, where they collapse to smaller areas. That they do before they go supernova and explode. It's kind of a process of life for a star. When we come to hover above a planet 4 times bigger than Earth, and you can hear it in your heads, it's called Zantrea. It is located in the 5th orbital position around this trinary star system. It has 5 moons the size of Earth orbiting it, all with no polar ice caps, dome cities and various land masses and oceans. Silent mentors and advanced master teachers work here together to get a handle on new ways to create doing things to retire the old failed experiment of good and evil by replacing them with the Hue expansion ray wisdom that passes through us. This is done here to eventually bring what works there at some point to Earth and other troubled worlds to transform humanity. Only adult human beings run by conscious atmas on this world that freely work here are tested with new ways to get subconscious blocks and fears neutralized. Further out, a second planet explored, and you can see it is called Onward. It's located on another planet in the 6th orbital position around this trinary star system. Here there are only human and a few other races, including children, atmas running children body forms, by advanced conscious masterful atmas to bring into creation new ways to correct the unconscious states of children on planets like Earth and other worlds in the lower worlds of time and space. Further out, 3rd planet is called Temesculan, or Temasculan. It's located in the 7th planetary orbital position out from the trinary star system suns. Here only animals, plants, birds, mammals, sea life with very advanced atmas running them conduct experiments to create and then implement new ways to free the atmas running these bodies that are twisted and misdirected, so that an awakening respect for the atmas running mammals, animals, birds, and sea life, etc., and respectful kindness is awakened at some point in people like those misdirected humans living on Earth. This is also going on planets in similar locations within our nearest galactic neighbor galaxy we call Andromeda. We understand on this journey that these experimental worlds in the Milky Way Galaxy, under the direction of the Galactic Interdimensional Alliance of Free Worlds, and in the Andromeda Galaxy under the Andromeda Galactic Alliance Council, have corresponding places for developing new ways of implementing an unexpected uplifting transformation for the terribly misguided and misdirected people on planets like Earth and other planetary systems. Experiments that are developed and then tested to work are then inspired to be created on these three worlds, so what is done there can be at some point be brought to Earth as part of the new expansion ray energy. It's now moving for the first time within the omnipresent living one power, or first sound behind creation, that emanates directly from Source or Prime Creator. When you look at Zontrea in the fourth orbital position, you can see that there are certain domes on different small islands all over its surface. And you can sense and see from space above it that there are numbers of races of beings working in those domes, conducting experiments, testing it on a few people that have been implanted, and seeing what most efficiently works. They already know how to do this, but this is advancing the way to do it more than it is. You look at the sixth planetary system, you can see children, lots of children and adults working there. But it's the Atmas that are mature Atmas running those children's bodies. These are advanced scientists. And they're working out ways to fix, let's just say, more innocent beings in a way on planets like Earth. Further out in the seventh orbital position is all animals, mammals, plants, animals, sea life, everything you can think of and a million times more than are on Earth. But these are all conscious Atmas running these forms. They all have vocal cords. They know they're not these mammal bodies, and these mammals are frankly far more intelligent than any human being on Earth. So this is where this experimentation is going on. And as of now, the Hue expansion ray flowing through that vortex above us, through Turelian and through you, is making it so that you know this and that you are part of this co-creation. You're not the effect of it, you're part of a cause point within it, as you should be. The Galactic Alliance Council is on planet Zetranami 1, which is further in towards the galactic core of the galaxy. We're not going there today. There's enough just to visit these three worlds and take a look at the surface briefly. You can see all these activities from space around Turelian. Your Atmos, of course, you can see what's on the ground, under the oceans. You got to remember that on these worlds, the ocean waters glow a foot above the waves. They're all calm oceans. No tidal waves, no tornadoes, no earthquakes, none of that nonsense. No polar ice caps. You got to remember, these are normal planets. We find ourselves moving up towards the bottom of this huge funnel shape at the bottom of this white golden light whirling clockwise. Satnam's standing right below the opening. He looks like the head of a pin compared to how big this is. And we're going to send out the hue together, and I will begin it at a lower tone. Do it with me in the best way you can. And then we're going to go up into that vortex, and we're going to go into the void. The sound coming through that portal is of a high, beautiful, hauntingly beautiful melody of a flute. It pulls on your heartstrings. We are actually riding this sound from Source up through this guided journey. So it's always going to be with us wherever we travel. The Atma is capable, made of the white core of its being of the same energy, of moving on, traveling in, and instantaneously projecting between points, not only in the lower dimensions of time and space, but in the upper realities as well. That energy that supports all of creation, that is not atomic or nuclear, that has no atoms, is not limited by the laws of physics, and there is no such thing as a limit to the speed of light. They got that all wrong on Earth, and it's partially what traps them in their ignorance. Partially. The more advanced races do not ever say that there's a limit to the speed of light, because there isn't. As we stop with just below Satnam, still in a group of beings around Ambassador Trillian, still within this transparent oval field of light, like a hull of a spaceship, we begin these tones together. Watch what happens to the vortex as it becomes brighter and brighter in levels, going all the way up through the narrow opening, and all the way up on the other end you can see a luminous, brilliant, but what I call pale blue cobalt atmosphere of a space. Now that's the void. That's above the etheric plane. It's above the lower worlds of time and space. The energy there is pure. It has no negative and positive characteristics. Neither do we, especially when we're normal. That makes a connection to Source itself. The vortex will always be above us on this journey. It moves with us wherever we go. Satnam and two couples of silent mentors hovering beside him. You can see their body forms about 6 feet tall, wearing a different colored pastel gown, like blue, green, orange, red, whatever. Over their bodies, different colored, smooth, glistening, moonstone-like skin, different colored hair to their shoulders, but their faces are a white, bright light. You can't see facial features, but you can look into those faces and you can see levels upon levels upon levels of larger galaxies and brighter ones down to less light and smaller ones, all the way down to the Milky Way Galaxy, which we see far below us now. We're up in space again in the pure hue. And Satnam and these 4 silent mentors, they have 4 atmas above them, the size of Satnam, 4 times bigger than us, brighter, twice as many teardrop-shaped faculties in the spectrum of light that make up the layers of their being. And they're moving up into this vortex. And Trillian and all of us are moving up after them. And then they're shot upward in a bright flash of light, and we move up to the other side of this vortex in an instant. And we're coming out into a brilliant cobalt blue atmosphere. I call it a pale blue light, but it's really quite bright. It's trying to describe the color of it. This is the void. It is made of the pure hue expansion ray sound, which is what it is now. It has no negative nature, and we aren't allowed to bring any negative nature with us. Those problems, subconscious problems, are kept turned off by the Galactic Alliance couple, back with your sleeping body on Earth for now. We are moving upward, straight upward, through this vast domain of the void. There's nothing here like physical matter. You don't see beings here, though they are here. One day I will take you to meet them. And we're coming all the way up the other end of this vast void that separates the upper realities from the lower worlds of time and space. And we see up ahead a beach that looks like a glowing, brilliant, diamond-like beach because the sand particles are made of little spherical, diamond-like spheres that are emitting light, glowing. Foot above this beach, and it extends as far as you can see to the left and right and curves way out in space, implying that it circles some kind of huge floating landmass. We approach this beach and see these huge jungle trees, all kinds of fruit trees, every kind of tree you can see on Earth. They're all here, but their trunks are transparent, and there's a light of golden white light moving up and down the trunks, and all their needles, all their leaves, all their fruit is glowing. There are beings running these higher structures, and we're moving up over the top of the jungle trees. And then you see Satnam go down and pick up a scoop of this sand in his fist. He hovers up to where we are and flings it at us. And one of these little diamond sand particles enters the white core of our being. Now this is to awaken us the awareness of what it is to be back home in the Atma plane where Satnam's realm is, the first realm above the void. This is not taught on Earth in any of its religions, esoteric or metaphysical. Not really. It should be, but it isn't yet. Why would you not be permitted to know the structure and shape and size of the multidimensional creation? You live in it. You come from the source. Well, of course you're supposed to know it. And you once did. Except that now you're knowing it in a deeper way than you ever did in billions of lives in your past. It's changing. The energy moving through the one omnipresent power now is a different kind of conscious energy. It's designed to literally neutralize subconscious negative fear, traumas, implants, programs, terror, torture, death, and all that stuff. And replace it with the wisdom of the Hue expansion ray as it moves through you. We all have the ability to be masters over any form of negativity, negative beings, or negative technologies. But we have been manipulated and forced to doubt and fear this truth. That must be reversed. So he throws these particles up, and each one enters the white core of our being and makes it brighter. It also makes the layers of the spectrum of light of these thick layers of particles of teardrop-shaped faculties brighter. Then we move over the top of the jungle, and we go. In the distance, we can see a long, blue, snow-covered bluestone mountain range. It's diagonal across the horizon. And there's a brown moss-covered path leading up to these two big blue stone gold-laced lapis lazuli type pillars that are holding up a four-sided roof with a quartz apex, the golden sides. And down below the pillars is a chair made of blue quartz, transparent, smooth-edged. There's a white golden light coming down into it from the top of that pyramid. That's like a throne chair for Satnam, but he never sits in it. I've never seen him sit in it. It's a device. Besides, he's standing beside us now. And he stops halfway towards that facility. We can see the big mountain range. We know there's vast terrains of countrysides on the other side of those mountains. And oceans that are, we can perceive out this ocean that surrounds this Atma plane are curved sections of different colors of the spectrum of light. It could be gold, then yellow, then orange, then red, then maybe going into green, and then blue, then violet, then lavender, and they circle the outer circumference along the beach of the Atma plane. This plane, like the others above it, are held in place by silent mentors, the mechanics of creation. There are two couples with us on this journey. You look down below us as we've stopped, and you see there is a 100-foot in diameter white stone circular floor in the middle of a botanical paradise. There's concentric circles of flowering 4-foot-high plants. going wider and wider into the distance, that this fountain sits in the middle of it. And there's a fountain with white stone like marble, scalloped edges, about 15 feet wide. There's a square pedestal in it. It's supported by a circular shaft. And there's a statue of Satnam standing in it. Bronze-skinned, bare-chested, little white tunic dress from his waist to his ankles. Yellow golden eyes, not really yellow, but golden. Bronze skin, about 36. And there's a white shaft of golden light coming down into it. It's filling the bowl through the open palms of his hands, facing forward, pouring from them, filling this bowl, flows over the scalloped edges of the fountain, and drops into the ground. Surrounding it is a donut-shaped flat marble sitting seat. I'll just call it marble. White, with 12 intricately carved scrolled legs supporting it. There are 12 golden cups on 12 golden hooks surrounding the outer edge of this fountain. Now you can simply allow the fountain to send a little particle of itself into you, or drink from one of the cups. It only takes an instant. And then Terrellian, Satnam, is pointing towards the fountain, statue of himself. The big Atma above him, the Atma's hovering above all of us. We're still in this oval, golden, hall-like spaceship field of energy. And we're suddenly shot up this shaft of light above the fountain. It's an interdimensional doorway. When we come out the other side of that, we're suddenly in a much more vast arena, a much brighter cobalt blue atmosphere. There's no planets, no moons, no suns, no stars. And the sound is indescribably beautiful. It sounds like millions of men and women's voices singing the hue all at once. Perfect vocal cords on multidimensional levels. And in the distance, you can see a massive circular floating landmass in this cobalt blue atmosphere. The white golden light of the hue is behind the blue light. You can see it. This is a very big, vast landmass. In the center of it is what's called the U Expansion Ray Academy Tower. There are 6 snow-covered bluestone mountain ranges in a tight circle around this tower. It's almost as tall as they are. Smooth, transparent blue glass-like, comes up to an oval administration area with a fountain in it, 2/3 of the way up. Then it goes to a minaret point. There's a shaft of white golden light coming down into it. There's no statue of Satnam in that fountain. This is above his realm. It goes down into a pedestal on a white sandy circular beach that this administration tower is built upon. And it enters a 4-foot high, 2-foot wide, blue lapis lazuli gold lace type stone with a 4-foot in diameter crystal sphere, blue, hovering above it with a cobalt blue star in the center of it. It goes down into the hollowed out interior of the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. There is a certain silent mentor teaching facility there, but that's not where we're going. You can see white roadways coming out of horseshoe-shaped tunnels with golden light at the base of all 6 of these mountains. And these white roadways go straight and narrow through vast countrysides, rivers and lakes and small mountains. There are hundreds of them, like the spokes coming off the hub of a bicycle tire. That's the base of the mountains. And down each roadway, like the one to the west we've been down, first turn to the right is a big 4-sided pyramid with a quartz cap and light seas hovering above it, because that's his teaching facility. But we're not going there. These white roadways, many of them, if you look at the U Expansion Ray Academy, which we're doing now from high above the tower, you can see these white roadways straight as an arrow, north, south, east, and west, and then there's another one a little bit parallel to it, then another right road, another right roadway, and another right roadway. And we're going down the middle third of the southwestern quadrant and turning right into a clearing, about 2/3 of the way, into a spherical clearing, circular clearing. This is one of 4 silent mentor training facilities. One northwest, northeast, southeast, and southwest. This is southwest. In the clearing is a fountain, blue scalloped edged fountain. Hovering above it with this shaft of water-like blue-green light coming out to it is it's a crystal headset. It's smooth quartz-like with polished rounded edges and fits over your forehead and around the sides of your temple. It's floating in it. Surrounding this circular white marble floor are 12 trees. They're much more massive than redwood trees, but they're like redwood trees. And standing atop each one is a silent mentor, alternating male and female. So one to the left has a blue gown, the one next one to it is like a green, then blue, it goes around in a circle. 12 different colors of the spectrum of light. Different colored hair, different skin tones, long hair to their shoulders. No facial features. It's just a white, bright light that you can see all these different dimensions in when you look into it. Hovering above them is an Atma 4 times bigger than us. These are silent mentors. Twice as many teardrop shape levels, twice as many colors of the spectrum of light. And there's a shaft of white golden light coming down to each one of them. It's moving through them, through the form they show us. You are in a circle of beings around myself and Terrellian that are hovering just above this headset inside the shaft of light coming down into this blue scalloped edged fountain. And it's moving through all of you in a circle. The master teacher's beside you. And then it's going through us and up the shaft of light. And then you see the energy move the other way. And it's coming down through us, through all of you, the Atma you are, into the physical form you show us, up into the silent mentors, up the redwood trees, and right back to source. And this way we get to rub shoulders with silent mentors. The energy we're experiencing, we don't even know what it's doing to us, but it's certainly transforming us. We're becoming prototype beings, something that has not existed before. Kind of like a mix between a bit of silent mentor and master teacher, I guess would be the right way to say it. And that's to manage new creations in new ways. And we find ourselves all respectfully nodding to these silent mentors. And we're moving up the shaft of hourglass-shaped light still above us. And Satnam is back in the Atma plane. There are 2 couples, 4 beings, silent mentors, guiding us upward through into this vortex. And we suddenly blur in a bright light all the way up it. We're going many dimensions up past Agam Purusha's realm, right into the beginning of the ocean of sound and light, prime creator or source. And he is now appeared with us. Myself and Terrellian, he's hovering by us. Much brighter and bigger sphere than any of us. He's already given us permission to go into source itself, which is required. We see in the distance what looks like a single silvery golden galaxy of stars surrounding the nucleus of a galaxy. The cobalt blue light in space here cannot be described in human terms, much brighter than anything below. There's no suns, no stars, no planets, no moons. And we're moving as a group right between these, what we thought were stars, are massive beings. Spherical like a sun, right? Like a star. But structured like an Atma. And as we move between them, there's great space between them. And we know telepathically that all of us are one of them. And we never left. The rest is an illusion because we are Atmas. We are multidimensional capable beings. This is why you run an etheric body, a mental body, causal, astral, and a physical body, all simultaneously as a single being. You've been made to forget all this, of course, but it can be recovered. Then we're suddenly blurred in a beam of light all the way into the central, it's like a hollowed out vacuum in the center of it. And there's a white, single, perfect white island glowing in the center of it. And hovering above it looks like an Atma, but much more massive than all of us put together. Many more layers of teardrop-shaped faculties, but we look like it, like a drop out of an ocean. And we suddenly find ourselves moving between the individual teardrop-shaped faculties of what we call the Supreme Being, Source, Prime Creator. It is not an individual on a throne. In fact, it's not an individual. It is a nexus of all atmas collectively focused in one point from which collectively we run everything. Without egos, because you can't bring egos with you here, your only motivation is to do and create things which will be of benefit to all life. That's your motivation here. We find ourselves suddenly hovering as atmas in this, inside the interior spherical center of Source. And we hear a deep baritone voice mixed with the angelic qualities of some beautiful feminine female, just subtly mixed with it, and it says, "Welcome home. You have returned to Source." We are being given some kind of gift here that will manifest when it's time. And then he just says, now you will go back because you cannot stay this far away from the physical universe or your bodies would perish on Earth. Probably your astral, causal, mental, and etheric body too, and that would defeat the purpose of becoming a master. So there's another flash of light, and all of us inside this oval, golden, white hull of a spaceship around Tyrellian find ourselves suddenly all the way down in space outside of Earth where we started this journey. Then Earth changes. It becomes the third higher parallel dimension Earth, as it is 3 molecular time rates up from the Earth you know. It's still in the physical universe. And we see one big continent center over the equator from the left to the right hemisphere. No polar ice caps. Another continent on the other side of the planet, because we can see right through it. 2/3 of its size, that's Atla. The one in the front is Lemriel. But these are not the Lemurian Atlantis that sunk and the poles changed on the Earth you know 100,000 years ago. This one does not. This one has no negative nature. We can see a glowing, upward curved, half-moon base-shaped beach down about 1/3 of the way above the southern pole at the edge of this continent. There's a big Himalayan mountain range in the center of this massive land. That's where Master Ramu comes from. But not from the Earth and Himalayas you think he comes from this one. We find ourselves standing suddenly on that beach, and as we approach it, we can see there's a single snow-covered mountain in the distance, a couple miles inland. These jungle trees are all luminous. Along this beach, which has an emerald green glowing sand a foot above the sand. And like the other beaches, this has little round polished emerald crystals radiating a light. The green energy represents all of the awakening of memory of all the lives you've lived in all the planes below the void. So it's to help you recover whatever's useful out of all those lives, that it can be a wise thing to do and can benefit all life. And you find your toes wiggling in the sand of this beach. You know, the body that you show each other that's not made of matter? One of these particles goes right up your legs, up your spine, up the top of your head, and into the white core of your being, and out to the green layer, and brightens some of the teardrops in it. Turns them on. There's a couple standing on the beach. They are the Zentranamus couple that run a vast world systems in little more than half of our galaxy. And they are the sponsors and caretakers and givers of this green light gift. The woman standing by the man, they're about 10 feet tall with longer necks and longer fingers and longer feet, elegantly dressed, ivory-colored skin, violet-colored eyes, silver-like hair to their shoulders. And they're talking with us telepathically. The woman has her palms up. There's a foot-wide green light around them, like the light around Tyrellian's thumbs. He's standing just offshore up to his knees in this calm, emerald green blue water, ocean water. No tidal waves, no tsunamis here, none of that. And that mountain you can see inland has a waterfall cascading out of a summit opening 2/3 away towards the summit. It's dropping thousands of feet down a sheer cliff face, disappearing in the blue-green forests that surround a single large clear dome city at the western base of the lower plateau. In it are three golden-sided, four-sided quartz cap pyramids towards the far back third. There's a semicircular mountain range with little blue waterfalls coming out of cavern openings that feed an oval lake in the center of this city. There's no cities like skyscrapers here. There are little ivory-colored dome dwellings throughout the countryside, little white pathways leading everywhere that go to those three pyramids. In the middle of the pyramids is a kind of a low-to-the-ground, oval-shaped building like moonstone, and the pyramid's tower above it. The beings who work here are silent mentors, the Say-Rays, the Galactic Alliance personnel, but mostly all master teachers. In fact, only. And so we get to see this place, and then we find ourselves in space around Turelian, looking at the Earth we're familiar with, the polar ice caps, the barren moon, the single sun. The sound of this sound coming from source we just visited is so intense, it's beyond any orchestra on Earth. The instruments are purer than anything that can be done on Earth, and it's moving through us. You find yourself near the ceiling with this Galactic Alliance couple beside you. It's moving through you, through your sleeping body, out through the walls of your home, out into Earth's atmosphere to three pyramids in the bottom of the oceans, which are projected to a larger pyramid stationed between two stable asteroids. In the asteroid field that circles in the orbit of what was a planet long ago, between the planets of Mars and Jupiter in our solar system. It's projected from the fountain in that pyramid to the core of the galaxy, and right up the shaft of light, all the way back to source. So this energy moves through you for your benefit, but it always moves beyond you for the benefit of others. It is our natural, true way of being. We are meant to be conscious, trustworthy co-creators with the source behind all life. It is our destiny. We are back. When you're ready, open your eyes. If you can open your eyes, open your eyes. And you can turn on your microphones. I don't know if
Yep.
is Margaret's still here? And Renata's still here. I can she's got her
Yeah.
microphone. You got your microphone on, Margaret?
Ah,
Time to come back. You want to come back because you're bringing it here. You need to bring this energy here. It helps everything. Renata, how was it for you today?
I was in and out. I didn't sleep the whole time, so I'm
That's good.
in
That's good.
I'm in fantasy land now.
Okay. Well, when you play it back a second,
Beautiful.
it'll be on my web. It'll be on my YouTube channel. But when you play it
Okay.
back, when you play it back,
Yeah.
rested, maybe in the morning, have a cup of coffee, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and play it back when you won't be disturbed. Shut off your cell phone, and then
Exactly.
enjoy it. Play it back gradually. Listen to it. Take notes, right?
Yeah.
And then go
Good
to
idea.
breakfast, go to a restaurant, come back, have fun with it, because you're going to find a lot more happened on this journey than you now remember, and you need to
Yeah.
remember. So the second time around is important, okay?
Got it.
Your Atma is endeavoring to, you, the Atma, is endeavoring to make that body and brain enlightened on Earth. It needs higher energy for that.
Yes.
Very simple.
That was deep. So deep.
For you, Margaret,
So deep.
it's deeper, isn't it? Getting deeper. Yeah. It's easier for me to do it in English because I don't have to wait for Perry to translate things.
Yeah.
The last
Right.
journey was 2.5 hours yesterday
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
to get them through the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about for you,
Well-
Lee?
Oh yeah, in and out, but the more week this time, I would say.
But when you say in and out, do not think of it incorrectly as a negative thing. It is not. In and out is good. It just means you're learning how to bring consciousness, and it's kind of fluctuating. You're learning how to bring it back to Earth. But you're supposed to be able to go out there and remember it all, then bring it back at one time to Earth when you come back here. That's why I asked you all to do a technique at night
Mm.
where you tell yourself when you're doing the hue for a few minutes before you go to sleep, I will remember to only open one eye in the morning when I wake up that body.
That's very hard to do.
It is, because you're not conditioned to do it at all, and there's no belief around it. There's no reason. You got to break that habit, see, because we're biscopular beings. When two eyes are open, it shuts off that link so you can run a body safely on Earth. Otherwise, you might walk in front of a bus and not even know it. So when you learn how to bring back what you're doing to Earth, and you open one eye is closed. That means the link in the golden white light of the hue is still running. Then you review the journey you had, like playing a movie. And then when you're done, you open your other eye and you will discover everything you did when you're out of your body. You remember on this life in this Earth.
Great.
And don't be disappointed if you don't do it for the next few months or something, even the next year. The point
I've been
is,
trying for ages.
when you're putting the effort into it, you're creating the condition. And it's going to take help from master teachers for you to get that turned back on anyway.
Mm.
So be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up because you can't suddenly do this. That's silly. Don't do that. You're getting the experience whether you know it or not. So allow yourself, be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to drop the old bad habit of fear. Just drop it like a lead brick, because it's a waste of time. I'll bring it to a close and then we can talk.